As you know, the bacteria are of two types, autotrophic and heterotrophic. Those which are heterotrophic, they are little bit lazy and they have preferred to become pathogens. Out of the many bacterial diseases that infect the human beings, we have the examples of dysentery, we have the example of cholera, we have the example of diphtheria, whooping cough, plague, what not to say. All these diseases are caused by one or other type of bacteria. Though bacteria have a lot of economic importance when we have to take out some commercial products from them being made, but at the same time they are causing diseases as well. And out of the list that I just now spoke, we are going to choose two diseases and discuss about it, one being typhoid and the other being pneumonia. So first of all, we are going to discuss about typhoid. Typhoid is caused by bacteria Salmonella typhi. You know, there is a classical case of typhoid Mary. She was a woman who was a cook by profession and she kept on being a carrier of typhoid to many people. She kept on spreading typhoid to all the people she used to serve food, and from there it came into knowledge that Salmonella typhi, the causative agent of typhoid, is responsible for extreme cases of typhoid resulting in death as well. Now, how does that death occur? It occurs when the typhoid causative bacterium enters into the intestine and it goes over there, passes the stomach in the form of spores and causes intestinal perforations. Okay, when the intestinal perforations are caused, it results into the death of the host. So this is a dangerous bacterial disease. And how it is caused? Of course, it is a communicable disease and it is caused by unhygienic conditions, because it is related to the digestive system of the human beings. It goes and infects the small intestine. So where can you expect the infection to come to other individuals? It is through orofecal, or the fecal matter of the infected individual would go and infect the water or food. So infected food or water is the source from where the individual can get infected. It is responsible for symptoms like constant fever. There would be constant fever, acute body pains would be there. Fever of 39 to 40 degrees Celsius would be the temperature, which is as much as 102 degree Fahrenheit. Now this is the condition of constant fever. Then loss of appetite is seen. Okay. Then apart from this, there is a condition of constipation. The person suffers from constipation. Fever is there, too much body pains. Okay, and weakness. Because of this, there is lot of weakness. So these are the symptoms which the person shows. One, he or she has been infected by this particular bacteria, which enters into the intestine, grows over there, and the body shows these symptoms in order to make you aware that you are suffering from some sort of disease. The disease has taken its shape. Now you need to visit the doctor. Certainly it is a communicable disease, so maintenance of hygienic conditions can curtail the occurrence of this disease. And what else could be used as a preventive measures? The best way is that you keep proper hygienic conditions, you wash your hands, you drink clean water. Water is the main source, which when infected with the fecal matter, and house flies sitting on the food should be avoided. So in a way, a clean lifestyle would avoid the occurrence of typhoid in the patients. Okay. Now, what else you have to remember these things. What are the symptoms that the patient shows? What is the causative agent and how it can be controlled? Okay, one more thing you have to remember in the topic of typhoid, that how do we test whether the patient is suffering from typhoid or not. This test is conducted out. If it comes out to be positive, then it is certain that the patient has the disease called typhoid, which is bacterial in nature. The second type of bacterial disease that we are going to do is pneumonia. When I was of your age, I used to think, and rather I didn't used to think, I was fed in my mind that pneumonia is caused by roaming out in cold. This is what my mother said. But that is not the case. Roaming out in cold does not make you suffer from pneumonia. It is a bacteria which comes and infects you and causes pneumonia. So the second bacterial disease is pneumonia. It is caused by Streptococcus pneumoniae. Certainly it would be a coccoid bacteria. Which one? Streptococcus pneumoniae. It has the that danger factor hidden in its name only. Apart from Streptococcus pneumoniae, there is another type of bacteria which can lead to aggravation of pneumonia, that is Haemophilus influenzae, that often causes you influenza or the fever that you called as viral fever. Okay, it is because of Haemophilus influenzae. Though it is not viral, this is a bacteria. We're talking about bacterial diseases. So Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae, they go and infect the alveoli of the lungs. What happens is the alveoli is the air space, it gets infected and it gets filled with water. That is what they call. But that water is fluid containing dead WBCs. Okay. The alveoli become fluid filled. That fluid contains dead WBCs. Why dead WBCs? Because these bacteria are creating havoc inside the alveoli. Now, when the alveoli becomes fluid filled, certainly the exchange of oxygen will not be possible. Okay. Now, what else are the symptoms that this person shows? One is cough, then running nose could be there, cold we can call it. There would be fever. In acute cases, the nails would turn blue. Okay, the person would be feverish, he will be constantly coughing. Okay, there is lot of weakness that is shown, and in acute cases the nails turn bluish, and in most acute cases there could be death as well. Okay, if the infection has manifested in a great degree, then there are possibilities of death, and administering the antibiotics which are targeted at these two types of bacteria, pneumonia could be controlled. Of course, it is a highly communicable disease, because when the person sneezes or coughs, the aerosols that come out of it as a result of coughing or sneezing, they contain these bacteria and it could pass on to the person. Even using the same utensils or handkerchiefs can also spread out this disease called pneumonia. So these two bacterial diseases you have to keep in mind, and remember who is the causative agent, what are the symptoms the diseased patient shows, and how it spreads. That is all.